Yo, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Purple Slushy coming to you guys from space. Today we got an insane build video for you. Now, when I say this build is like the build, this build goes together like peanut butter and jelly. Like, this build goes together like a Destro staff and a Resto staff. Like, this build goes together like a cat and a dog. Like, this build is the build, this patch. And that's no cap. This build is awesome. Last night on stream, I've been trying to make a build that lets me survive a lot longer than normal. And lately, I've been either sacrificing damage or I've been sacrificing sustain. But I finally found the right build that maximizes the best of both worlds. In today's build video, I'm going to be showing you guys the build that I put together last night on stream. If you guys don't know or haven't ever watched me on stream, I stream every day on twitch.tv/purpaleslushy. So make sure you guys go over there and check that out. The content's always fun. It's always fun in stream. Everyone always has a good time. And yeah, so we're going to get into the build video. At the end of the build video, I'm going to be showing you guys a clip that I got, or like a video that I got from a battleground from last night. I'll probably just show the whole battleground. This build is great for no CP, for CP, for everything. It has high damage, high regen, high resource management. It has everything that you need in order to survive in Cyrodiil and in no CP. Today's PvP at the end of the video is going to be from no CP. Then hopefully tonight we can get some clips in CP and I can make a separate maybe like 1vx video for that. Also, 40% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed. Make sure if you guys are enjoying the content, you guys go ahead and smash that subscribe button below. And also smash that like button. Helps for the YouTube algorithm. Let's see if we can get to 20 likes again. Last video the goal was 20 and you guys smashed that. So actually this time let's see if we can get 25 likes. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Now let's get into it. Peace. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the build part of the build. Now let's get into it. I do have continuous attack right now because I wanted to show you guys what this build is like when you can maximize it to the fullest. So we'll go out of Cyrodiil later and show you guys without continuous attack, but now we have a continuous attack. We'll show that. We have the mage on. The mage is going to give us an extra 2100 Magicka. We are rocking spring-loaded infusion because we are using Bright Throat, so this is the best food to use with Bright Throat. And then we are a Breton. So being a Breton is nice because it gives you max mag, it gives you spell resistance, and then it also increases your magic recovery by 100, and then it reduces the Magicka cost of your abilities by 7%, which is pretty nice for resources and just having you know, just cheaper skills, and it'll let you 1vx a lot better. So getting into the actual stats of the build, we are sitting at 40k max mag, 27k health, 17,500 stam, unbuffed 2300 spell damage, almost 2400, 2100 recovery, 500 health recovery, 1500 stam recovery, and 35% crit. With buffed up, we are sitting at 1900 or 19k spell resistance and 15,000, almost 16,000 physical resistance. Now let's get into the setup. We're rocking 5-piece Eternal Vigor. This set is really good. A lot of people only use it on like stand builds and stuff because it drops in heavy armor, and the jewelry is pretty expensive. The staffs are cheap, but the jewelry is expensive. We are rocking infused with the shot glyph. We're rocking the shot glyph to proc minor vulnerability, which will make it so we can hit our targets harder. Back bar, we're rocking a defending with increase your weapon and spell damage by 5 seconds glyph. This is pretty crucial. You'll need that for the extra damage. Eternal Vigor gives you 124 mag recovery, 124 stam recovery, 124 health recovery, 1400 health, and then 5-piece. You add 325 stam and magic recovery while your health is above 50%. When your health is below 50%, you add 1000 health recovery. So what I've been having problems with lately on my Sorc is when I get really low in execute range, I can't heal fast enough and I just get executed, and I've been having a really big problem surviving at really low health. So when I was using Eternal Vigor on my Stam Blade, I was like, wow, this is good. I was like, I wonder if this would work on Mag Sorc. and I swapped the set onto my mag sword. I bought a set for it, and it actually really works really well. When I'm low health, I'm able to get my health back up real quick. I just do 1 or 2 dark conversions and I'm back up above 50% health, and we're good to go. And yeah, this set, the survivability is nuts because it gives you the health recovery, the stam recovery, the magic recovery, and you actually have really high stats and really high spell damage, which is just pretty nuts. We are rocking 5-piece Bright Throat on the body. Bright Throat is going to increase our max mag, and it's going to increase our mag recovery. This is probably one of the best sets that you can pair with Eternal Vigor for a mag character because you're stacking recovery on top of another set that's stacking recovery, right? But you're also stacking max mag at the same time. So then we got 1-piece of Barlog for extra weapon and spell damage. This is going to help us get extra spell damage just so we can hit harder. So far we got Eternal Vigor staffs with an Eternal Vigor helm. The reason why we're rocking the Eternal Vigor helm is because we're using a Mythic neck. And since we can't use 3-piece Eternal Vigor on that jewelry because we're using the Mythic neck, we have to rock either a head or a shoulder. So for the Mythic item, we're rocking the Torque of Tonal Consistency. This is a god-like set. This set is so good when your resources are really low. While your stamina is less than 50%, increase your mag recovery by 450. While your mag is less than 50%, increase your stam recovery by 450. So let's go here. Let's roll dodge a little bit and use all our mag and everything and pop a pot and see what all of our stats are looking like. So we're gonna pop a pot now. Use all our mag, and then we're gonna roll dodge, use all our stam. So we're sitting at 3,100 mag recovery and 2,300 stam recovery. So the resources on this build are actually nutty. Like, the resource management on this build is pretty crazy, and then just being able to, you know, get your resources back super quick while you're fighting a lot of people, like, you can't beat that. Like, it doesn't get better than that. So this build revolves around hitting really hard while also having really high regen. Since I have such high regen, you guys can see I'm able to rock 3 spell damage glyphs. So I'm rocking 3 spell damage glyphs while still having 2,100 magic recovery unbuffed, which is actually crazy because when I've been trying to make builds lately, it's either I have to sacrifice damage or I have to sacrifice recovery. This build allows you to have both. Like, it's really good. Tri-rune on the Torque. I swapped both these Eternal Vigors. They were both health. I swapped them to Arcane. I think Arcane is really good. You guys can try other things, maybe Infused. You might miss a little bit of Magicka. I don't know how much damage that will equivalent to, but you guys can test around with that. But this is what I've come up with so far, and this build is actually really nice. We got well fitted. I still need to make this purple, but honestly, I could care less. 1% isn't that much of a difference, but I have 1 piece of well fitted. Every mag build that I make always has 1 well fitted because you will roll dodge, which is pretty important, and being able to reduce the cost of roll dodge is really crucial for staying alive. And then we got 1 divine, so I normally rock 1 divines, 1 well fitted with 5 in pen. So that goes for the setup. Poisons, we normally rock escapist poisons, which are pretty nice, and if you don't want to rock the poisons and you want your glyph to proc, then you don't have to use that. Now, to check to see what our spell damage is fully buffed up, let's go over here and hit and add and see what it's like. Oh, right now we have 2377, so if we pop this and then we light attack, we're sitting at 3,300 spell damage. 3,300, which is pretty nice. Yeah, sitting around 3,300. So 3,300 spell damage with 40k max mag is actually crazy, but also having 3,300 spell damage with 2,500, almost 2,400 recovery without even having the torque proc is crazy. So this build allows you to hit stupid hard while still being able to sustain hitting that hard, which is actually crazy, which you guys will see in the BG at the end of this video. Now, going into the champion points of the build, same CP as last time. I actually haven't used my Sorc since I made a standby blade. I've been rocking the werewolf, so we actually got some CP that we can probably put in right now. So we're just going to increase this to 7%, and then we'll just jack this up a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So we got 56 into Warlord, reduce the cost of break free. This is pretty important because you will be getting CC'd a lot, and you don't want to waste all your stam on a magic sword because you don't have a lot of stam. This is going to let you get your Magicka back really quick with your heavy attacks. Arcanist, magic recovery. Mooncalf for stamina recovery. 51 into Shadow Ward, reduce the cost of block. You can still kind of block, animation cancel a little bit, so, and you also need to block a lot when you're trying to streak away from people that are hitting hard, so that's why I have that in there. And then also roll dodging, because you will be roll dodging on a magic sword, because people just hit really hard and you'll need to just negate their damage, you know, if your mag's low and you can't shield or whatever. Damage. So damage, the damage that I'm rocking right now is the same CP setup that I was using when I was using the Malakath ring. Now when I was rocking Malakath ring, you can't critically damage anyone. But when I did that, I took all my points out of Elfborn and I put them into Staff Expert to increase my damage, and I never changed it back to increasing the crits yet. Now when I was PvPing last night in Cyrodiil, I was actually hitting stupid hard. Like, I was hitting ridiculously hard and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out why I was hitting so hard. I was like, why am I hitting so hard? I don't have any points in the crit, but I'm still hitting so hard. And I went and looked and I was like, increase the damage done with light and heavy attacks with Staff Expert. I have this at 56, and it made me think. I was like, well, if my light attacks are doing 28% more damage, then, and I'm using this right here, I just recently swapped to Ellie weapon. This is going to make your light attack deal an additional 8,500 magic damage and apply the burning, concussion, or chilled elemental status effect. So it'll apply burning since I'm using a Destro staff. And if the power is not consumed in time, you restore 1,200 Magicka. So this is actually pretty smart, because I would have never done this if I would have ever had the torque. If I would have never had Malakath, I would have never taken my points out and stacked in the light attack damage. But now, since I'm weaving light attack every single attack, that CP that I have stacking on the light attack, I'm hitting people with like 6 to 7k light attacks, and it's honestly, it's almost broken. Like, it's crazy how hard I'm hitting people, especially in no CP. You'll see in the video later that it just completely melts. So this is the CP setup that I think I'm going to continue to rock, because since I'm using Ellie weapon to buff my light attacks, why not even buff my light attacks harder with Staff Expert? You guys can mess around with Elfborn and stuff. This is just what I've used that has worked with me so far. This is still day 1 of this build, so there's going to be more testing, and we will stack into Elfborn at some point. But right now we got 72 into Spell Erosion, 64 into Elemental Expert, 56 into Staff Expert, 66 into Mastered Arms, and that's it for the blue tree. Now for the red tree, we're going to, let's see here, Light Armor Focus, stack this a little bit higher. Yeah, because stamped people hit hard. So right now we got 51 into Ironclad, reduced damage against direct damage, 17 into Resistant, 14 into Light Armor Focus, 43 into Hardy, 43 into Elemental Defender, 37 into Thick Skinned, and then 61 into Bastion for the shields. Now that should go over most of that part of the build. Actually, we got 7 more CP that we can put in. Let's see. Let's do... Let's just stack this 30%. So now we're hitting 30% harder with our light attacks. Alright, and for the last part of the build before I show you guys the stats, oh well, we don't even have continuous anymore, so these are the stats without continuous. So 1800 mag regen, almost 1900, 1300 stam recovery, And that's without even torque being procced. If we proc torque, we're going to be sitting at, let's see here. We're sitting at 2,500 mag recovery and 1,800 stam recovery. And then if we pop a pot, a tripod, we are sitting at, it's pretty nice recovery. So then going into the skills, it's just a really simple skill setup. Haunting Curse, Mage's Wrath for the execute, Crystal Fragments for your, you know, damage. Streak, this is going to be your main stun. Ellie Weapon. Ellie Weapon is something that I've been using lately that is new to my build. Normally I've sworn up and down my Crushing Shock, but the amount of damage that Ellie Weapon does is just, you're just gimping yourself by not using it because it hits so hard. It hits ridiculously hard, and I really like it on this build. Power Overload on the front bar. Your Elemental Weapon, I'm pretty sure it buffs your Power Overload as well. So if you're in your Overload, you just Ellie Weapon, Overload, Ellie Weapon, Overload, and your Overloads just, they just hit like a truck. It's actually kind of busted. Back bar, Dark Conversion, Healing Ward, Boundless Storm for your physical and spell resistance, Healing Ward for the heal. I swear by Healing Ward, having 3 shields is more OP than having like rapid regen. Healing Ward is just too good, and they buffed it a little bit, so it's a little bit better than it was before. Dampened Magicka, and then Hardened Ward. And in the back bar we got Precognition for the extra shield that you get when having a Psijic ability on your bar. And then when you use this ability, it gives you 30% damage reduction, I think, for a couple seconds, which is pretty OP, which is pretty nice. But that is pretty much it for the build. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. I'm going to show you guys a BG that we got with this build from last night, and then we're going to try in a future video to get some, we're going to try to get some sort of 1vx video in Cyrodiil in CP. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And oh, who's this? Vulcan Dragon Knight. Let's see if we can kill this guy. What, he just went invisible on a DK? What the hell? As you can see, we're hitting this dude ridiculously hard. Yeah, it's about to be over right here when I use overloads on him. Ooh, he reflected it. That was nice. I guess he doesn't want to fight. But as you guys can see, the damage with this build is actually kind of cracked. That's what happens a lot when I fight people on this build. I just hit them so hard that they're just like, nah, I just don't want to fight you. Like, that dude had 1500 CP and he was a Grand Overlord and he just didn't want to fight. So that'll happen with this build. You'll run into a lot of people who just don't want to fight you, but that's just because you hit like a truck. And I'm telling you, it's the light attacks. It's the light attacks with Ellie Weapon, and having that much spell damage all stacked is just pretty nuts. But until next time, it's been your boy Slushy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed the BG at the end. I'm out. Peace.